Being an amazing lover is not about having the best techniques or the craziest positions or always saying yes to your partner's fantasies. In the last few years, I've worked with hundreds of women to help them actually start enjoying their sex lives. And what I have found is that being an amazing lover has very little to do with what you're doing and everything to do with how you are being. So in this video, I'm going to share 5 mental shifts with actionable strategies so that you can actually show up in the bedroom with the confidence and the skill of an expert lover, even if you are totally uncertain or you feel kind of awkward right now. So let's dive in. The first ingredient to any excellent, wonderful sexual experience is presence. Because the best sex happens when you feel totally in sync and so connected to your partner. And that can really only happen if you are completely in the moment. Personally, I've had so many sexual experiences where I'm either totally checked out in my head, thinking about other things, or I can feel that my partner just isn't there with me. It doesn't feel good. And after those experiences, I always feel, I don't know, just disconnected, more empty. But let's define being present. What does that even mean? So presence is tuning out the mental noise and tuning in to your body and your partner. Instead of worrying about how you look or whether you're doing it right, presence is about feeling the sensations, and time almost seems to vanish, like it loses its meaning. And when it comes to your partner, being present means paying attention to their body language, their breath, their sounds. Great lovers are curious lovers. They're attentive, engaged, responsive to what's happening in the moment. But how do you get there? Like, how do you get yourself present? The best way is slowing down and relaxing your nervous system. Most of the time, a lack of presence is a result of rushing or dysregulation. This could mean being too stressed and anxious, or it could mean that your body's kind of shut down. So what you can do is, before intimacy, try taking 3 deep breaths with your partner. Looking into each other's eyes and syncing up those breaths can really help both of you get into the moment and have a more ritualized opening to your sexual experience. I'm about to share the next 4 tips on being an amazing lover, but if you're already enjoying the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more on sex and relationships. So the second ingredient to epic lovemaking is the depth of emotional safety and intimacy that you have with your partner. And this starts so far before the bedroom. Emotional intimacy and connection are the foundation for passion, especially in long-term relationships. The best lovers are those who know how to nurture that emotional connection outside of sex. This means having open and honest conversations about desires, fears, boundaries. It's about creating a space where both you and your partner feel safe and seen and feel able to communicate about what's happening in your sex life. My favorite weekly ritual that I use in my relationship is a weekly relationship check-in. So during these check-ins, you can ask questions like, what are you proud of yourself for this week? How can I be a better partner to you this week? What does our relationship need more of this week? And asking these types of questions and having that regular cadence of deep, intimate conversation where you and your partner are attentive to one another's emotional needs really carries over into deeper layers of trust and ability to surrender in the bedroom. Now, as amazing as it is to have that kind of emotional depth and seriousness, you also need to balance it with play. So the third component to being an amazing lover is having fun in sex. Sex does not have to be serious. In fact, some of the most amazing moments in bed, for me personally, happen when I'm letting go and laughing and exploring and playing with my partner. Playfulness invites creativity, it removes pressure to perform. It also makes intimacy feel light and exciting and something that you want to return to, not something that feels like a chore. The best tool that I have found for having more playfulness in my sex life is adding a monthly sexploration date. So that means setting aside like 2 to 3 hours each month to just try something new with my partner with no expectation for it to be good. It's like a laboratory where we can run little experiments that are adventurous and playful and just meant to be for fun. If you need ideas of what you could try during that time, I've got a free quiz that will tell you what your turn-on type is. It's linked in the description box below. When you take the quiz, it'll give you a list of things that you could do during sexploration that could suit your turn-on type. The next component to being an amazing lover is being connected to your own body. When you are connected to your pleasure, it's so much easier to share that with your partner. That means exploring what feels good to you and being unafraid to guide your partner in showing them how to give you pleasure as well. Another benefit to indulging your own pleasure regularly is that there is an overflowing cup. So often in the relationships, I see that individuals come into the bedroom expecting their partner to be their only source of pleasure. And this sets up a dynamic that's honestly really unhealthy and puts pressure on their partner. So each individual needs to fill up their own pleasure cup. And that could just look like spending time outside of the bedroom exploring your sensuality, taking a luxurious bath, wearing fabrics that feel really amazing on your skin, practicing mindful self-touch. The more that you know what you like and the more you give that to yourself, the more confident that you're going to feel expressing it with your partner, which totally brings me to the next point, which is about being completely open and vocal about what you want in the bedroom. Amazing lovers are not mind readers, and they don't expect their partners to be either. Clear, kind communication is so key to creating fulfilling sexual experiences. If something feels good, let your partner know. If something could be better, tell them what could be better. The best advice that I have on this is being as specific as possible in your request to your partner. You could say things like, I love when you grab my arm and slowly run your fingers up my arm. Like, that level of specificity is crucial. And then outside of the bedroom, consistently talking about what you enjoy and what else you might want is also a major value add. If talking about sex feels challenging for you, I made an entire video about how to make communication about intimacy easier. You can check it out here. Now remember, being an amazing lover isn't about doing more or being perfect. It's about just showing up with presence, curiosity, and a willingness to connect. It's about letting go of the scripts or the perfection and just embracing the reality of yourself in the bedroom. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.